If you have any Republicans in your family that are upset about the Donald Trump conviction, send them this video. Hi, my name is Aaron. I'm a combat arms veteran. I served 14 months in one stretch in Baghdad, Iraq, during OAF 7, and our primary mission was to fight Muqtada al-Sadr in Sadr City. We were the first batch of soldiers to go in for the troop surge. Among everyone that I know in the military, the only good thing that Trump ever did for us was hiring General Mattis as the Secretary of Defense. And the fact that he quit in protest of Donald Trump's positions should tell you how we feel about him. Even the Republicans among us don't like Donald Trump because we fought religious extremists. We know what it sounds like when they're prophesying their bullshit. When they're saying that there is no room for discussion, there is no room for compromise, the only thing there is subjugation or death. And we said, fuck you, you die instead. And so you got all these gravy seals that go to the range once a week and think that that makes them tactical experts. It doesn't. See, what makes you a good combatant is actually being exposed to real combat. Because things like gunfire and bullets whizzing past your head and explosions, the first times you experience those, it's very jarring to the nervous system. You don't have that. You've never been exposed to that. So your first engagement with trained military personnel and all the now civilians who have prior combat experience who are not about to hand this country over to religious extremists, you're going to freeze. You're going to freeze in place because you're going to get scared. And you won't have an NCO to yell at you and motivate you to do the right thing. You won't have a cohesive unit of people that you've been basically living with for the better part of a year, who you know how they operate and how they communicate. You don't have that. You have some cheap imitation of fascist, xenophobic, homophobic, religious wing nuts. Your doctrine is hating people, not defending anybody. And people always wonder, like, what makes American soldiers so lethal? Like, beyond the technological advantage that we have over our adversaries, we genuinely believe that we are the shield. Okay, the Marines think that they're the spear. All right, give them that. But the reason why we fight so ferociously is that we're protecting the people on our left and on our right from real, genuine threats. You're not protecting anybody. All this chatter I see online about y'all wanting to get violent, what are you protecting yourself against? Nothing. And that's where your conviction is going to fail. That's where your spirit leaves you. That's why 99% of you ain't going to do shit. And the 1% of wackos are going to try. And they're not going to be able to get to hard targets. You know what they're going to do? They're going to start targeting soft targets. They're going to start going after vulnerable, innocent people. And it's going to get the rest of your group branded a traitor. A terrorist organization. Right here. And that's the fun part, because military service members take that oath about defending us from enemies foreign and domestic. Why would we need to include the domestic part? Why would we ever need to worry about idiots in this country trying to undermine a democracy because they didn't get their fucking way? Gee, when has that ever happened? And y'all really do live in a bubble because you think only Republicans have guns? Only Republicans have guns? You're also uncompromising. See, if you told me tomorrow that you have evidence that Joe Biden did something illegal, I would tell you the same thing I've been saying from the very beginning. Take him to trial. Hunter Biden's trial is starting here in a couple days. I don't care. Prosecute him. If he did something wrong, prosecute him. But see, because I'm willing to compromise, I'm willing to be flexible. With the changing patterns on the battlefield, I can do things one way, have a plan, and then go, that's not working. We're going to do something else. You can't do that. And because you can't do that, you can't cooperate with people around you. Because you can't cooperate with people around you, you can't operate as a unit. Because you can't operate as a unit, you don't stand a snowflake's chance in hell of doing anything meaningful with your outrage. So I suggest you do what a lot of smart, pissed off people are doing right now and sit on your hands and just be mad. We were all disappointed when Bill Clinton turned out to be a womanizer. We were all disappointed when we found out that George H.W. Bush sent us to Iraq for weapons of mass destruction that never existed in the first place. We were all disappointed when we abandoned the Kurds. We were all disappointed when Donald Trump did a quid pro quo with Ukraine to try and dig up dirt on Joe Biden by withholding aid that had already been approved by Congress. Life is full of disappointments. But you know what's not going to make it better for you or anybody else? Getting violent with your own countrymen. Don't do that. Don't plan anything. Don't do anything. You think you're safe talking in WhatsApp? You think you're safe talking on Truth Social? There are people that I know personally today who have 2 sets of social media accounts. One is used for information gathering on the Truth Social network. It's funny that they can't tell me specifically what has happened, but I can intuit that multiple different plots to do bad things have been stopped because people just post the terrible things they're going to do in what they think are private chat rooms and forums. None of it's private. None of it. And I have my own feelings about that. I don't like Big Brother watching everything all the time, but when people are so stupid that even just basic data scraping can pinpoint them, single them out, their profile, and then go, hey, we should watch this guy. Oh, look, he's making BOMBS in his house. So just don't think you're smarter than the government. Don't think you're smarter than the liberals. If you have this weird exceptionalism where you think you're always right and there is no room for compromise, that will be your downfall. I recommend you just move on with your life. Accept that you were wrong about Donald Trump, that he was a con man, and you all got fucking fooled. Just accept it. No, both sides are not the same. No, both sides are not equally wrong. You need to start digging deep and finding better candidates. Okay? But all this bullshit about you wanting to control other people's lives, that's never going to happen. Abandon that platform. And just, in general, stop trying to make the world think that you're tough. If you were tough and you actually cared that much about these United States, you would have served and volunteered for it. Thanks for playing. Have a great rest of your day.